I remember sitting at my desk, the stale scent of burnt coffee lingering in the air, scrolling through my family's group chat, the one I wasn't meant to see. My mother had accidentally added me when she sent the final confirmations for their Christmas trip to Hawaii. I stared at the message as if it were written in a foreign language. Flights booked, hotel reserved. My sister's name right at the top. Mine missing. It wasn't an oversight. It was a choice. And that choice came from Emily, my sister. The same Emily who once sat cry on my couch when her marriage nearly fell apart. The same couch she and her husband still occupied, rent-free, under my roof. When her husband lost his job 2 years ago, they came to me, all apologies and hopeful smiles. Just for a few months, she'd said, squeezing my hand. I didn't hesitate. Family helps family, right? I turned my guest suite into a small apartment for them, even paid their utilities. I worked long hours, covered their groceries, listened to Emily's constant rants about stress. I told myself I was being kind, holding the family together. Funny how easily kindness can disguise delusion when you're too tired to notice betrayal forming in the cracks. It didn't hit me all at once. It unfolded slowly, cruelly. First, the phone calls that stopped when I entered the room. Then the vague excuses from my parents. Oh, it's just complicated right now, honey. And then came the truth, careless and blunt. A text from my mother. Please don't bring this up to Emily. She feels uncomfortable having you on the trip. Uncomfortable. I paid her bills. How's her husband? And she was uncomfortable around me. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I didn't even flinch. My pulse slowed. My thoughts sharpened. That was the moment I stopped being family and started being strategy. Revenge doesn't always need flames. Sometimes it only needs silence. First, I called my lawyer. The house deed was in my name. Their stay had been a verbal agreement, meaning they were guests, and guests can be asked to leave at any time. I waited a week, watched them pack for Hawaii, Emily parading her new swimsuits through my hallway, humming Christmas songs. Her husband joked about my neckties, bragged about not needing a budget this year. They had no idea their countdown had begun. The night before their flight, I waited until they were asleep. Then I printed a formal notice, request to vacate premises. Not legally necessary, but beautifully poetic. At 6 a.m., I woke them, calm, composed. You both need to leave today. Emily blinked, mascara smudged, confusion heavy in her voice. What are you talking about? We have a flight in 5 hours. I nodded. Yes, from your own address, I hope. Her husband tried to speak over me, muttering about timing, family, forgiveness. I held up the paper. You've lived here rent-free for 18 months. I think that's long enough. Her face fell. The silence that followed was worth every sleepless night. They packed in a hurry, muttering curses under their breath. My name twisted into disbelief. I didn't help, didn't look their way. When they left, I locked the door behind them. The click of the latch sounded like the world exhaling. The calls started that afternoon. First Mom, then Dad, then Emily. All ignored. My voicemail filled with excuses. You shouldn't have done that before Christmas. You could have talked it out. She didn't mean it like that. But she did. And they knew it. They'd chosen to protect her feelings over my dignity. So I chose to protect my peace over their comfort. When they came back from Hawaii weeks later, broke, bitter, and humiliated, I wasn't surprised. Apparently, the trip had been a disaster. Fights, cancellations, hotel problems. Karma has perfect timing. When they realized my number was blocked, they showed up in person, standing at my door like strangers. Emily's voice cracked. We have nowhere else to go. I looked her straight in the eye. Then maybe you should have thought of that before deciding I didn't belong. And I closed the door. No hesitation. Now, months later, the house is quiet, peaceful, mine. Sometimes I still get messages. Desperate ones from my parents. Guilt-soaked ones from Emily. They all begin the same way. Can we talk? But I've learned forgiveness isn't something you owe. Not to those who excluded you for convenience and came crawling back when their comfort collapsed. I used to think revenge came from anger. It doesn't. It comes from clarity. I didn't ruin them. I simply stopped saving them. And that, I've learned, hurts far more. They're still begging. I'm still silent. And for the first time in years, I finally feel like I belong not to them, but to myself.